Welcome to Unwritten, a KP Media news literacy podcast, hosted by the editor-in-chief of the KP Times, Maya Ortiz. This podcast was created to increase news literacy, specifically around Kingwood Park student publications, as Student Press Freedom Week approaches this February 22nd. As the editor-in-chief of a student newspaper and a four-year contributor to a student news website in a state that follows the Hazelwood School District versus Kohlmeyer decision, I recognize the importance of student media. Teens are often underrepresented in the media. Teenagers are on the cusp of adulthood, yet they are regularly overlooked because they lack the right to vote, their parents have legal control over them, and they lack a higher education or skilled occupation. Despite this, teenagers are many times functioning members of society with self-autonomy. Teenagers are active consumers of social media, magazines, and websites without being personally represented. High school student press acts as representation for teenagers. It is teenagers covering teenagers, allowing teens to be accurately represented. Teenagers face a plethora of issues, many of those issues similar to those of adults. Mental health, physical health, their identity, and a successful work-life balance. Student press allows these stories to be told. They allow these issues to be represented from a teen perspective. But in an age of increasing censorship, especially on the media accessible to minors, accurately representing teenagers is becoming more and more challenging. Here at Kingwood Park, the goal of the KP Times staff is to accurately tell the stories of our school community. Kingwood Park is no euphoria, but Kingwood Park is a community of teenagers trying to navigate the world and their sense of self. And our job is to showcase that. To do that, it's important that we have a strong audience that trusts us as an organization. Media literacy is a necessity to fulfill our purpose. This podcast will acknowledge how our publication chooses content to publish, the impact of the message, and the external factors that play into our product. Thanks for listening to this episode of Unwritten. Check out at KPark Media on Instagram and Twitter, and kptimes.com for updates on episodes and for Kingwood Park's publication. Unwritten is hosted and produced by Maya Ortiz.